Why, hello there, everyone. I know I am a few days late in reacting to Kite's NENxIMPACT trailer, 12 days to be exact, but I have been so busy and emotionally exhausted lately that I wanted to wait to watch this trailer until I could be fully invested in it, especially because of all the characters in the game, of all the characters in Hunter x Hunter NENxIMPACT, Kite has the moveset that is most in question. I have been speculating about how they would incorporate his moveset into the game ever since this game has been announced, even before they announced that Kite would be a character, because I knew Kite would maybe have a good chance at being a character just because of his popularity, but the one thing that would keep him out of the game would be the challenges in giving him a fighting game moveset. For one, a big question is, will the developers settle on him only having the gun and the scythe, or will they give him the other roulette weapons? And if they do give him other roulette weapons, are the developers going to be taking creative liberty and just making things up, or will they have actually gotten some kind of secret information from Togashi as to what his other weapons are, right? And also, even if he does only get the gun and the scythe, will he be locked to that weapon until he defeats an opponent? Because if you recall, and if I recall correctly, in the source material, yeah, you saw him use the gun and also the scythe, but he did make a comment about how he can't put the weapon up and swap to something else until he has either defeated his opponent or has finished the battle or something like that. So I wonder if they are going to smudge the source material on that point and make it where he has access to both the scythe and the gun, at least mid-combat, because that would probably make for more of a typical RNG archetype of a fighting game character. But I will respect it if they make him stuck on one weapon until at least one opponent is defeated, because then it would be a little bit more like Mokujin, maybe. Instead of a typical RNG character that's letting you switch between movesets mid-match, maybe it would be more like Mokujin from Tekken, in that when a round starts, you are going to have a moveset and you are going to be stuck with that moveset until the end of the round. At least I think that's how Mokujin works. I'm not a huge Tekken guy, but you get my point. So let's see. I have not seen or heard anything about this trailer or anything about his moveset. So even though it has been 12 days, this is still completely spoiler-free, and this is my completely fresh impression. So let's see. By the way, I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but I'm automatically super biased towards Kite just because it's Char's voice actor. Anyway. So he's starting the battle with the gun out, which is interesting. The fact that this is a pre-battle cutscene and he already has the gun out makes me think that maybe he just starts with the gun. Because otherwise, you would have to have another cutscene in which he rolls a weapon, and I don't know if they would go through that effort. Okay. We're seeing the gun moveset. Hold on. Oh, okay, that was crazy slots right there. Okay. Oh, he gets number 2. So the scythe is delegated to a super. I guess that would alleviate the issue of giving him a moveset with the scythe, because whenever he used the scythe in the show, he would win in just a single move. He would just slash it once and it would get everybody, and that was it. So we don't really know if he has a moveset with the scythe, and even if he does, we don't know what it would look like. We don't know what his fighting style with the scythe would look like. So relegating it to a super, I think, is an okay way around that. Although it is kind of weird that he's switching from the gun to the scythe mid-battle here. Also, I want to get that pose. That pose right there, this keyframe, is a keyframe. I don't think it's entirely accurate, but more or less, this is a keyframe from the show. And the reason why I'm able to immediately identify that so much is because recently I was part of a Mega Man X fan art collaboration, and my contribution was Reaper Sigma from Mega Man X4. And when I was sketching it out and trying to figure out a pose, I looked at so many different scythe wielder references, Kite being one of them. So I remember looking at this keyframe of Kite quite a bit when I was trying to decide on a pose for Reaper Sigma. Yeah, and that looks as if it's full screen, so I wonder if you could do that raw as a whiff punish of some kind. Also, I really like the crazy slot animation. I don't really know what else you could do, but for some reason, I'm liking... Maybe they're using some kind of motion blur or something on the numbers, because for some reason that looks better than I was expecting, even though I don't know how else it would look. Also, I'm glad Crazy Slot is talking also at the same time. Okay. Dude, what scene is this referencing? Dude, this makes me think of Final Shooting from Gundam, but I think it's just because my brain is primed to think Gundam because I'm hearing Char whenever I hear Kite speak. Okay, so another question I had was, because we technically saw, I think it was number 3, regardless of what number it was, we did see a third weapon technically in the show, right? The wand, it was some kind of club or magical wand, right? The thing that allowed Kite to revive. However it worked, it did give him some kind of revival ability. So I was wondering if maybe he would have some kind of gimmick super, maybe like a counter super where he pulls out that magical wand, and if he dies, or if he takes damage that would otherwise kill him, he's able to somehow resurrect, and it would be sort of like a Phoenix from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 type gimmick where he can revive if he has enough meter or something. But I think they just decided to avoid that, considering we don't know exactly how it works. So it seems as if they only stuck to the weapons that we are confident about in terms of how they work, right? The gun and the scythe. I want to look at these special moves again. I'm trying to figure out what kind of character archetype he is. He just seems to have really good range, and he has so many moves with this gun that I'm wondering if they're not all special moves, right? They might just be command normals or even just regular buttons. And if that's the case, if he has really big buttons like that, then I'm thinking he might be really good at hit confirming. He might have really easy hit confirms. That's a really good angle, by the way. For anyone that doesn't know, having a projectile that goes down at a 45-degree angle like this in the air, that's pretty much the best angle for any projectile in any fighting game. So that would be really nice if he had an assist that used that move. He might be a really popular assist if he has some kind of angled projectile like this on assist. It also makes me think of Winter Soldier from MVCI. Not that Winter Soldier is the only character from a fighting game that has a projectile at this angle after a jump, but it's specifically making me think of MVCI Winter Soldier because it stays active for so long. It's firing multiple bullets, just like Winter Soldier, who's able to fire multiple bullets. And if I recall correctly, I think Winter Soldier can also Tiger Knee it after a super jump like this. In fact, I can't actually tell if this is a super jump. Yeah, okay, I think it is because he jumps after launching Killua here. So there might be some potential with that move. That might be an assist as well, the upward angle projectile. But look at that. I'm thinking he might have, just like Morel, I'm thinking Kite might have really stable conversions. Because that launches him so far away, and then he's able to continue the combo with that because it goes full screen. And then his super is full screen as well. I think that's confirmed to be full screen, right? I think they are deliberately showcasing how far away you can hit with that, because maybe that's not quite full screen, but Kite is almost full screen away. We know Gon is at the edge of the screen on this side. Also, let me look at the scythe again. I don't know if it was the anime taking creative liberties or if it's this game taking creative liberties. I'd have to go back and look at the manga panels again. But I recall from the show, the scythe was much more sickle-like. It was much longer and it was more curved. It's hard to tell from this perspective because it's coming straight at the camera. So I'm trying to find a shot where you can see what I'm talking about here. See, this looks much more like a normal scythe from real life, in that the blade pretty much goes straight out and then curves at the end. But for some reason, I remember it, at least in the show, being more like a huge crescent moon shape. Because I remember in this key pose, it sort of went around his whole body. So I'm wondering if they had to change the shape for it to work in the game a bit better, or if, like I said, maybe the anime was taking creative liberties and maybe this is more accurate to the manga. You guys can let me know. I don't think I have any particular preference, because on one hand, I think that the big crescent moon-shaped scythe does look cooler in certain shots. Like in this shot, just seeing it wrap around his entire body. But it might look really unwieldy and it might get in the way of a lot of keyframes in the actual gameplay. So that might be one of the reasons why they decided to make it look like this. I wonder if that's a Rekka. Because let me make it slow-mo. This move puts him into the pose at which he starts this move anyway, see? Because he's already pointing the gun down. He hits him, he's already pointing the gun down, and then fires. So he doesn't have to do any kind of jarring animation cancel. It's already putting him in that pose. That makes me wonder if it's a Rekka of some kind. You know what that kick does remind me of? It reminds me of Antonov's kick from King of Fighters 15. But if I'm not recognizing the scene that this is referencing, please let me know in the comments, because it seems very specific. I'm just going to keep thinking of Gundam every time I see this, though, until somebody corrects me. Nice. Okay. So that concludes the character trailers for Hunter x Hunter NENxIMPACT, at least when it comes to the launch characters. Of course, if they start uploading character trailers for the DLC, I will be uploading reactions and analyses to those as well, assuming I am liking the game. For example, with DNF Duel, I was uploading character reactions / analysis videos for the DNF Duel characters, but then once the game was, well, not when the game came out, but once I was able to play the game from the beta tests, I was very much deflated on that game, and then I stopped covering it. But assuming that the NENxIMPACT game does retain my interest, then of course I will try to keep up the coverage for the game. Now at this point, we just have to wait for it to come out, because like I said, that was the final character trailer. I don't really know what else they could show about the game leading up to its release. I don't think they're hiding any kind of weird mechanic. Obviously, they're not hiding any characters. So I will see you guys when the game comes out. I think my next YouTube video will be a review. I don't like saying review when it comes to beta tests. My next YouTube video will be an impressions video. Let's say impressions instead of review. An impressions video on the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves beta test, because that game is going to have a beta test on the 20th, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And even though it's only for one weekend, even if I'm super busy with assignments or whatever, I'm going to definitely try to get at least a good amount of time into that beta test, so that way I can have a well-informed enough opinion to upload an impressions video for that. So if you guys like fighting games, not just Hunter x Hunter NENxIMPACT, but fighting games in general, make sure you look forward to that video. And I guess you could also consider that the reminder that City of the Wolves is getting a beta test in a few days. So thanks everyone for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment. Thank you for sticking with this Hunter x Hunter NENxIMPACT advertisement campaign coverage. And I will see you guys later. So with all of that said, bye for now.